Good evening to Mr. David and all my fellow students. Today, I'll be talking about our Round 3 math project presented by Jayden Foong Guoyi, Gan Ai Ling, Tan Yi, and Phuah Yin Jie. Here are the table of content that what I will be talking about. (10.1) Points, lines, and angle. What is a point? In math, a point is represented by a dot and used to tell exact location in space. And now, what is a line? A line is a one-dimensional figure which has length but has no width. And now, what is an angle? In plane geometry, a figure which is formed by two rays or lines that shares a common endpoint is called an angle. Collinear points. Collinear points lie on the same line, but non-collinear points do not lie on the same line. Coplanar points lie on the same plane, but non-coplanar points do not lie on the same planes, like the example has been shown under here. And now I'll be talking about the different types of lines. The first type of line, we have straight line. A straight line is defined as a line with no curve in coordinate geometry system in mathematics. It is a line where it's always 180 degrees Celsius. A curved line. In mathematics, a curve is an object similar to a line, but that does not have to be straight. Intuitively, a curve may be thought as the trace left by a moving point, as the example has been shown left and right under. Vertical line. A vertical line is a perpendicular line to the vertical lines in coordinate geometries are perpendicular to the horizontal line and parallel to the y-axis. A horizontal line is a straight line that goes from left to right or right to left in coordinate geometry. A line is said to be horizontal if 2 points on the line have the same y-coordinate point, as the example has been shown left and right under here. Next up, we have parallel lines. Parallel lines are the lines that do not intersect or meet each other at any point in a plane. Intersecting lines, when two or more lines cross each other in a plane, they are called intersecting lines. Like the example has been shown below here, left and right below. And lastly, I'll be talking about perpendicular lines. In geometry, perpendicular lines are defined as two lines that meet or intersect each other at right angles. A transversal line is defined as a line that passes through two lines in the same plane at two distinct points in geometry, as the example has been shown below here. And now I'll be talking about 10.2 parallel lines, perpendicular lines, and related angles. So, what is parallel lines? In geometry, parallel lines can be defined as two lines in the same plane that are at equal distance from each other and never meet. They can be both horizontal and vertical, as the example has been shown below here. Here are some of the related angles between parallel lines. We have co-interior angle, alternate angle, and corresponding angle. I'll be talking about the co-interior angles in detail. So, a co-interior angle lies between two lines and on the same side of transversal. In each diagram, the two marked angles are called co-interior angle, which the example has been shown here, the 70 and another unknown degree, are called a co-interior angle because it forms a C shape. If the two lines are parallel, then co-interior angles adds to give 180 degrees, and so are supplementary. Next, I'll be sharing about alternate angles. So, sorry, it has an error. I think we can skip to the perpendicular lines. The next one. So I'll be now talking about more about the perpendicular lines. So a perpendicular line is defined as a straight line that meets the right angle, which is 90 degrees, with the other line. In other words, if two lines intersect each other at the right angle, then the lines are perpendicular to each other, which the example has been shown below here. And now, here are one type of related angles between perpendicular lines, which are only right angles. And a right angle is an angle that is exactly equals to 90 degrees, which form an L shape, and it is equals to 90 degrees.
Congruent figures. What is congruent figures? Congruent shapes are shapes that are exactly the same. The corresponding sides are the same and the corresponding angles are the same. How to check if it a congruent figures? To do this, we need to check all the angles and all the side of the shape. If two shapes are congruent, they will fit exactly on top of one another. Example of congruent figure. These are the photos that example of congruent figures. Format about congruent figures. This photo shows you about the format. How to differentiate congruent figures? Differentiate congruent figures. In summary, congruent shapes are figures with the same size and shape. Line symmetry. What is line symmetry? A line of symmetry is the line that divides a shape or an object into two equal and symmetrical parts. We also call this line the axis of symmetry or mirror line because it divides the figure symmetrically, and the divided parts look like mirror reflections of each other. These are the example about the line symmetry. Why is symmetry? In geometry, symmetry is defined as a balance and proportionate similarity that is found in two halves of an object. These two pictures shows about symmetry. Type of line symmetry. Horizontal line of symmetry. If a horizontal line divides an object into two identical halves, it is called a horizontal line of symmetry. That means the horizontal line of symmetry goes from left to right in an object. Vertical line of symmetry. If a vertical line divides an object into two identical halves, it is called a vertical line of symmetry. That means that the vertical line goes from top to bottom in an object and divides it into its mirror halves. Diagonal line of symmetry. If a diagonal line divides an object into two identical halves, it is called a diagonal line of symmetry. That means the diagonal line of symmetry goes sideways or slanting in an object. Some example about line symmetry. We have triangle, square, rectangle, circle. 10.5 Rotational symmetry. What is rotational symmetry? A number of shapes like squares, circle, regular hexagon, and more have rotational symmetry. These are the rotational symmetry photos. Format about rotational symmetry. This picture shows you about the format. Example about rotational symmetry. The photo shows you about the example.
And now I'll be talking about polygons and circles. So, what is a polygon and circle? A polygon is a plane figure enclosed by a line segment called side. Polygon is a 2D shape. Regular polygon contains equal sides and length. A circle is a round-shaped figure that has no corners or edge. In geometry, a circle can be defined as a closed shape, two-dimensional shape, and a curved shape. And now I'll be talking about the different types of polygon. Firstly, we have triangle, which its features of triangle has 3 sides and 3 vertices, and has no diagonals through the triangle, and the sum of interior angle is 180 Celsius. Next, we got quadrilateral. The features of quadrilaterals has 4 sides and 4 vertices. It has 2 diagonals, and the sum of interior angle is 360 degrees Celsius. Next off, we got pentagon. Pentagon has 5 sides and 5 vertices. It has 5 diagonals, and the sum of interior angle is 540 degrees Celsius. Furthermore, we have hexagon. The feature of hexagon has 6 sides and 6 vertices. It has 9 diagonals, and the sum of interior angle is 720 degrees Celsius. Heptagon. A heptagon has 7 sides and 7 vertices. It has 14 diagonals, and the sum of interior angle is 900 degrees Celsius. Now I'll be talking about octagon. It has 8 sides and 8 vertices, and it has 20 diagonals, and the sum of interior angle for an octagon is 1080 degrees Celsius. Moreover, I'll be talking about nonagon. A nonagon has 9 sides and 9 vertices. It has 27 diagonals, and the sum of interior angle for nonagon is 1260 degrees Celsius. Lastly, we have decagon. It has 10 sides and 10 vertices. It has 35 diagonals, and the sum of interior angle is 1440 degrees Celsius.
10.7 3D shapes, plans, and elevations. What is 3D shapes, plans, and elevations? Plans and Elevations are 2D drawings of a 3D shape. A plane is a scale drawing showing a 3D shape when it is looked at from above. An elevation is the view of a 3D shape when it is looked at from the side or from the front. Example about 3D shapes, plans, and elevations. These are the photos. Example. How do you describe a 3D shape? 3D shapes are shapes with 3 dimensions, such as width, weight, height, and depth. An example of a 3D shape is a prism or a sphere. 3D shapes are multi-dimensional and can be physically held.
This is the end of our presentation. Thank you. But before we end, I would like to detail and talk more about the error just now, which I have changed earlier. Jayden, you may go to slide 14. Okay, we talk about the co-interior angle. So the co-interior angle lies between two lines and on the same side of transversal. In each diagram, there are two marked angles which are called co-interior angle. As you can see the example here, it has two curves inside of the angles on one side. This is formed as a C shape, which is co-interior angle. So if the two lines are parallel, the co-interior angles add to give one, and so are supplementary. And the next slide, I'll be talking about the alternate angle. I apologize for the error. I'll be talking about it more now. The alternate angles, which are angles that occurs on the opposite sides of transversal line and have the same size, which they are the same size. The alternate angles are equal. We can often spot interior alternate angle by drawing a Z shape, which the example has been shown here, from the 120 to the D Celsius. There are two different types of alternate angle. The first one is the alternate interior angle, and the second one is alternate exterior angle. Lastly, I'll be talking about the corresponding angle. I apologize for the error again. I'll be talking about the corresponding angle. So the corresponding angles are the angle which are formed in matching corners or corresponding corners with the transversal when two lines are intersected by any other lines, which the example has been shown here as the matching corner, which from the first plot, which has been labeled 1, and from the line 2, which has been labeled 2, it has the matching plot on the same area, and it forms an F shape. These are called corresponding angle. And now it's actually finally for our ending for our presentation today. I hope you guys learned a lot. Thank you so much.